Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. We've been talking about my boy Yanqing quite a bit, so I figured we'd go ahead and bring out a 500 IQ build guide that I'm using to play my boy. Don't take me serious when I say 500 IQ anyway. If you do, good lord, man, you gotta lighten up, buddy. Anyways, what's the best light cone in the game for him? I'm gonna go with swordplay. One, it's a 40% damage bonus. Yanqing is somebody, especially with the team I just talked about in my previous video. His best team comp is mono ice. And the thing about mono ice comps is, well, nobody's giving him damage bonuses, nobody's giving him attack percent buffs. You got Pella defensive shredding, right? You got Gepard giving him a shield. And then that fourth slot would probably be somebody like Silverwolf, or I don't know, maybe a Branya, maybe a Yukong, who knows? At the end of the day though, my boy is not getting the double harmony buff that other units, main DPSs get. So having a light cone that gives him damage bonus is quite massive because he's lacking in the damage bonus department when compared to other people. But he is also somebody who can self-buff the hell out of himself. But yeah, with all that being said, what I like about this is that Yanqing can literally, what the hell, I don't know where that came from. Yanqing can literally give 5 stacks to himself with one single skill use, especially if the follow-up attack ticks. They stack per tick. So when he uses his skill, it's like ta 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 ta. Those all are ticks that are increasing the damage percent value. And obviously, if you're lucky enough to get higher refinements of this bad boy, dear God, he's gonna have a massive whopping damage percent bonus with this. So yeah, I like this. This is my MVP option. Obviously, if you're lucky enough to get a signature light cone early, this is obviously very good as well. But at R1, I just don't think it's competing with this at higher refinements of the sword play. Now, what I will say is, I haven't done the math for that, right? So this is just being taken at face value. I'm very capable of doing the math, but I'm not. I don't feel like doing that shit. Just know, these are definitely going to be the 2 best options, and I would probably go with sword play, unless, of course, you already have this, and this is only at R1. If you don't have these 2 at all, this will be the next best option for him, because since he has to have a shield on anyways, you don't have to worry about taking damage. Yanqing's soul sync effect, however the fuck you pronounce that shit, man, it goes away when he takes damage. But when you have a shielder putting a shield on him and he takes damage, he's not taking damage. That's the way it works. The same concept here. He will never take damage so long as he's shielded, so you basically can perma keep this as a perma uptime, just similar to swordplay. So this is a very good free to play option, especially at max refinement. The only thing I don't really like about it is it gives him 12% speed. I know some of y'all think that's good, but depending on if you're using him with somebody like Gepard, if he's too fast, he's gonna run through Gepard's shields. And that's not a good thing, because as soon as he is shieldless and gets hit, well, soul sync effect goes away, which is not a good thing. But if you put some speed boots on Gepard, then he can also kind of mitigate that issue. Anyways, if you don't have those 3 options I just recommended, the other options are like incredibly mid. So you just kind of shit out of luck there, buddy. Anyways, moving on to traces. This is going to be priority 1, priority 2, and then priority 3. All right, ultimate, skill, and passive. The passive has pretty garbage scaling, so I don't really prioritize this. Now, of course, when it's all said and done, if you're a Yanqing main, you want to obviously cap out on all of this stuff. But as of now, being resource efficient, this is definitely what you want to go for, and probably stop at 6 to be resource efficient. It does cost 45 grand to take it from 6 to 7, and then start focusing on this bad boy next. Basic attack is something I do not touch until I'm no longer scarce with the resources, man. It's hard out here for a pimp. Anyways, his talent gives him a 30% damage bonus. Again, that on top of the light cone, that's huge. We're getting more damage bonuses, but it only lasts for 2 turns. So that is something to consider as well. Furthermore, this is what I was telling you about the speed earlier. When he hits a crit, he gets a 10% speed boost. With all this is all going to make sense when we come over here to the relic set. Now let's just go ahead and get it out the way. Let's get Captain Obvious out the way. Obviously you want to run him with the ice set, right? Obviously you also want to put as much crit damage on the guy as possible, because his literal ult is going to give him 60% increased crit chance, and then the soul sync is going to give him another, well, up to 19% crit chance. We're looking at already, what's that, 89% crit chance, or hold on, 67, no, 79, my bad, 79% crit chance. So you just need another 19% from sub stats, and then boom, you're ready to rock and roll to get a guarantee. Now you don't really need 100, but you'll get a guaranteed crit chance. Now with that being said, you want to stack as much crit damage on this guy as possible, but what do you put into that sub stat section? Honestly, you want to get a couple of crit rate rolls, right? I think the best 4 sub stats in the game for him are going to be crit damage, attack percent, effect hit rate to guarantee or increase the chances of applying freeze with his passive, and then of course some crit rate here and there, and some speed or effect resistance here and there. Speed, obviously, you want to give him above the 120 threshold for the 2-piece relic. We'll go over that in a bit. But you do want him to have a little bit of some speed value in there, especially over 120. But don't worry about him attacking multiple times. Like, this is such a broad generalization spanning across so many like characters. You don't have to attack too many times with a freeze elemented character, because the beautiful thing about freeze characters is they don't have to be faster. They can just slow your ass down. You know what I mean? So they can perma freeze units, delay their actions like almost like indefinitely if they're weak to ice, and he's running a mono ice team, which increases the chances of that happening. So you don't really need him to be very fast. Furthermore, again, if he's fast, you're going to run through your shield turns that Geppy is providing to you on March 7th. So it's not really about speed with these guys. And because he doesn't have a double harmony induced type of team, you don't want to run a speed boot on him. You want to run attack percent. Attack percent is going to be the best bang for his buck, because he doesn't have all them damn buffs that double harmony teams are running. So I think the attack percent boot is where you want to go. And then is there anything else I'm missing? I think I already covered all that. Let's go over here to the 2-piece relic. Best main stats is going to be ice damage boost and then energy recharge. I'll say that again, energy recharge. You have to go for it right here. That's another reason why you want to run attack percent boost, because you can't run attack percent here. He needs energy recharge. If you come over here and take a look at this man's ult, 140 whopping ult energy cost, and his skill doesn't really provide it. If you don't have any energy recharge, it provides pretty crappy energy recharge generation. So running him with a rope ER is I'm not gonna, it's literally an obligation if you ask me. It gives you 20%, and then finally the 2-piece relic set itself, you could run as a budget option until you get the thing you need. This bad boy right here as a budget option, you could run this, right? If you got ice damage and ER, cool, throw that bad boy on him and run it as a budget option. But this is going to be better than that budget option, the crit rate plus 8% and then the 15% damage bonus to his ult and follow-up attack. But the absolute best option is absolutely going to be this bad boy right here. Energy recharge by 5%. That's going to be 25% now if you run him with the ER rope, and then advances action by 40% upon entering battle. This is incredibly valuable. I think it's an incredibly underrated relic set as well for select units such as Yanqing, because as soon as the battle starts, he's going to be able to go 2 times guaranteed, no question, because it's going to bring his action value down so low. In fact, if you get him to 120, this brings you down so low that you can potentially go 3 times in 1 turn. It's crazy. But the other cool thing about all of this is you can do all of this. You can go all those times in that very first turn, do his ult, and then receive the shield from somebody like Gepard on the next turn, so you're not like burning through it. Furthermore, your action values do carry over from turn to turn, even in Forgotten Hall. You just have to continue to meet the 150 point threshold. That does not mean the action values don't carry over though. So having a very low action value on the first turn is actually going to contribute to your turn to turn action values overall. Finally, I guess the next thing I want to cover is his E2. Should you be lucky enough to get his E2, I think this in combination with the relic set I just recommended to you with the main stat, bringing you to a total of 35% ER. I think if you do 2 skill procs with no ER at all, and they both trigger their follow-up attacks, you could potentially get this man's ult up in 2 skill procs once you have his E2 with all that other ER. Now, this is a theory craft because I don't have it, right? But based off of what I've seen and tested, I think that's very doable. But if you don't have his E2, the 25% is absolutely going to save you some turns on getting his ult up faster. I'll tell you that much right now. And that's what I recommend building him with, boys. That's the 500 IQ play. Did we miss anything else? I don't think I did. I think we're good. GG's, boys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.